Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So today I'm going to install the 400-oz torque servo from Traxxas. This servo is a metal geared servo, waterproof, 400 ounces. It's a little expensive, $99. However, I've used it in the sport. It worked out great, no issues with it. So I'm excited to throw it on my TRX4 Bronco. This has an operating voltage anywhere from 6 to 7.4 volts. I do have the BEC in this Bronco. A few months ago, D&D Sports had a little contest. I won the BEC from D&D Sports. And with everything going on, I never had a chance to upgrade the actual servo. So went back to D&D Sports, purchased this high torque servo, and gonna get it in today. Now in the car is the 2875X. This is a metal geared servo. It's not really made to be running the BEC with this though. These servos are okay. They're not too bad, but for what I'm using this truck for, it's just not enough power for me. I always find these are actually good on bashers. I have one of these in my Stampede 4x4 VXL. No issues with it. It's actually working pretty well in that. So like I said, I did the BEC install a few months ago. I actually did it off camera. But the BEC comes with a taller receiver box. It comes with a Y connector. This way you can plug it directly off the ESC, especially if you're running the light kit with the module. And of course you get the BEC, which is a direct plug and play into the stock receiver. Alright, so moving on to the servo install. So I'm going to start by taking out the old servo. Just going to undo the 4 screws that hold this in. And I'm going to flip the truck over and take off the steering link. Alright, so I got all the screws out. Now I want to trace the wire back and unplug the servo from the receiver box. Specifically, unplug it from the receiver. And it may look intimidating, but just look for the second slot. It goes in channel 1 for the Traxxas receiver. I heard this somewhere, but channel 1 to steer and 2 to go. Alright, so I got the wire all freed up. Now I can just simply pull out the old servo. Alright guys, so one thing I realized I screwed up on, I did not order the aluminum servo horn. This is the stock plastic horn, and with a 400-oz servo, this thing would strip out 2 seconds. I've been there and I've done that. So I will hit up D&D Sports and order an aluminum horn, but in the meantime I'll continue the install of the servo. So here's the servo out of the packaging. It has a nice aluminum housing with some plastic caps. The wire is plenty long for what you need. You don't need to order any extensions. It is part number 2255, 400-oz torque. They have a 350, which is part number 2250. And I'll get going with the install. The first thing I want to do is just plug this into the channel 1 slot. I'm going to center the servo. I posted a video recently and I didn't really show how to center a servo, so I'll just go ahead and show it. So I fished the servo wire through the slot, up and in, plugged it into channel 1, and I'm going to make sure that my steering knob is set to neutral or 0. I'll go ahead and turn my radio on, plug a battery in, and turn on the ESC. And when the truck turns on, the servo will go to center. Alright, so now that my servo is centered, I can go ahead and put the servo horn back on. I'm going to put the plastic one on just for right now until I get my aluminum one in. And the horn just goes on at a 90-degree angle. And should look like that when you're done. One screw will hold this on. I'll go ahead and put that screw back in and then install it into the space it goes. Because I ran the wires through into the receiver, there was 2 screws that hold the body post mount on. I just took it out. This way I can get the servo in. Otherwise I would have had to take the wires out and didn't feel like doing all that. Real simple. 2 screws. Take out the body post, put the servo in. And when you're putting this in, the horn will go towards the driver's side, in the US at least. And it'll just fit in like that. Now as I mentioned, the wire is long enough. You're going to have to stretch a little bit. You're going to have to make sure everything is super tight. Just kind of run the wire along, tuck it into the plastic little knobs here, and then make sure that everything's out of the way so you can get your receiver box back together. Alright, so now I'm going to just go ahead and put the 4 screws that hold the servo. Alright, so all 4 screws are back in. Just be careful when you're putting the screws in. You don't want to over tighten them, over torque them. All you're going to do is strip out the plastic, so make sure they're nice and snug and you're good to go. Alright, so now since I removed this body post, I'm going to just go ahead and throw it back on. And these 2 screws will hold the body post in place. Body posts are back on, and I'll flip the truck over and connect my steering link to my servo horn. And with all that back together, it's time to test this thing out. Now when I do any type of electronics install, I like to leave the screws off of the receiver box just until I test everything out. The last thing I want to have to do is take everything apart again. So just like I centered the servo before, I'm going to plug a battery in, turn my radio on, and see if this thing works. Moment of truth. And we're good to go. Everything's working really well. It's much quicker, and I know it's a lot stronger. Now, of course, I did my best to make sure the servo was centered, that the horn went on the straightest I could put it on. If you find that your wheels aren't straight, all you have to do is go to your radio and you can adjust your steering trim. Little turn of the knob and you'll be set. Alright, so we're cooking now. All I'm going to do is put back the receiver box. You want to be super careful when you put everything back together in the box that you're not pinching any wires. Last thing you want to do is pinch anything, cut anything, break anything. You also want to make sure this blue little rubber strip fits into the grooves around the box. This helps keep everything watertight. And once you have this rubber piece seated in properly, you can go ahead and put a little silicone grease in, rub it around the outside of this rubber, as well as inside this little tray here. This will help keep all the water out. All of the wires are tucked in real nice. It's also good to have this BEC, this extra high case here. Makes the wires a lot easier to shove in. Alright, so now I'll just get the box back together. Again, super careful to not pinch any wires, but all the screws are back in and this install is done. So, very simple install. Very happy with this servo. You can hear it super quiet, doesn't chatter like some of the Savox servos do. It's got great control and it's just overall a great servo. It is a direct fit for the Traxxas TRX4 and other Traxxas models. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed the install of the 400-ounce waterproof metal gear servo into my Traxxas TRX4 Bronco. If you're new to the hobby, I really hope this video helped you out. If you have any questions, comments, anything, please post them below. And have a great day. I'll see you all soon.